Welcome to a special edition of the Cybersecurity Accelerator podcast. I got my guy Marcus Wallace, man. What's up, bro? How's your day been?
Chill day. Work was good. The weather's getting better. Traffic is terrible, but it's been a chill day.
Okay. You was telling me when we had linked, this was your year anniversary at your current job, right?
Yeah, so, last year, May 27th, I had started at the software company in Core Software as a cloud support analyst intern. And ever since then, it's been a year since then, so I've been growing, experiencing new things, and trying to maintain the position.
What is your role at the company?
Right now, currently my role is cloud compliance and support analyst. So basically, it's cloud engineering, meaning that we work with virtual machines, but at the same time, I also do the audits, the paperwork, not really paperwork, but you got policies and you got audits and you got certain certs like ISO 27100, ISO 4201, SOC 2, HIPAA, stuff like that. So we have audits for them to maintain them certifications for our tenants and our customers, and know that we're certified and that we're trusted with this information.
Man, I'm proud for you, bro, because I just remember coming in the classroom, because you are one of our lab tutors, and you'll come in here and, bruh, this job market is just not going.
Right. It took me right, even before I graduated, I was already applying. And don't get me wrong, I was getting interviews while I was applying, and I had job offers too, but the job offers wasn't matching the economy.
Gotcha.
They were trying to pay me 13, 14 for an entry-level position. And I was already making 17 at Amazon at the time. So why would I go down to make less and while I'm still trying to make a living? So it was hard to really get a job that's really it's really hard to get I ain't gonna say it was hard. It was hard at the time to get a job where I felt to pay me adequate amounts where I can make a living and still work, that full time or just one job.
For an entry level IT job, $14?
Yeah, tripping.
So bro, okay, when I met you, you was a lab tutor, right? What kind of led you to come to Chatt Tech, and then what led you to kind of pursue a lab tutor position?
Well, honestly, bro, to be honest with you, I didn't really take the life career path with jobs and careers, anything like that serious until I was 22, 23. So around that time, I just had that empathy, and I was I need to go to school, I need to do something. And I've always been tech genius, an IT dude with a family. And I was let me figure out what I want to go to school for. And Chatt Tech was right around the corner from the house, 5 minutes from my uncle's spot, who I was staying with at the time. And I saw cybersecurity, I saw a computer program, I saw computer science, and I just took a gamble when I went with cybersecurity. And I was always interested in hacking and how they do this, how they do that. And it just it became I made my inner child happy, learning how to do all this stuff and working in the field and stuff like that. And it was challenging at first, but you just gotta be persistent to get where you're at. After graduating Chatt, I was lucky to even start as a cybersecurity tutor. Because we didn't have no cybersecurity tutors when I was a student.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't have a tutor program for the cybersecurity. So to be the first one to start that up, and I got Professor Chapman and Stephanie at the time, who was our superintendent.
Dean, associate dean.
Yeah. So we had her at the time. They interviewed me, and then they interviewed me literally a week after graduation. And then when we came back from winter break, I was starting as a cybersecurity tutor.
So you was one of the first ones?
Yeah, I was the first one.
Oh, I wonder what year was that?
That was 2023. Cause I graduated in 2022. Janine came a year later.
Wow. So the year that I started, that's when
I started tutoring that January. You came in May.
May. Was you always at this campus, Marietta?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And you said you had went through some challenges in the program. What were those challenges?
Just getting used to the material. Cause you know how it is when you learn new things. You may know the basics of it, but you don't know the inner workings of it. And just getting confident in my own skills and just learning the material really.
So what kind of helped you understand the material? Was it your teacher? Was you doing outside resources? Was it you?
A little bit of everything, to be honest with you. I took the initiative myself to want to learn it, and then also if I was having issues, I'd reach out to my teacher about anything. But mainly just self-studying and just having the interest to want to go far with the path. That's really it. I really feel my own integrity, my own interest, my own eagerness really set me up to really excel.
And you said earlier, you was kind of already into tech and ethical hacking. Did that lead you to want to apply for the tutor position?
Yeah, so growing up, I always was interested in technology. Whether it could be anything. You don't necessarily have to be a computer. I was always interested in how things work.
Okay.
And so in high school, I used to jailbreak iPods iPhones.
Same.
I used to unlock cellular devices for different networks. I used to do all this stuff in high school, like take stuff apart, put it back together. I mean, I prepared my first laptop when I was like 11. You know, so just from doing stuff like that, I've always been interested in tech. But also growing up, I was also one of them students where like I didn't know what I wanted to do after college. Like after high school, I knew I wanted to go to college, but I didn't have like a guarantee. See, like I want to do this, I want to do that. Like, I've always been like a floater, I guess you could say, like just going day by day. But like I said, I had to grow up and take some stuff seriously, and I got tired of doing like manual labor. So I remember my principal in high school told me, she was like, you can either work hard or you can work smart. And so I decided to be a mental worker rather than be a physical worker. And so that just cemented my path to be doing what I do now.
So like when you first started the tutor position and you started to realize that some of the students were having the same struggles you had, how were you able to like assist them?
Well, honestly, it really just comes down to having empathy and compassion, because you got to have patience with people, because not everybody's going to be functioning on the same mental level that you function on, and you just got to meet them where they at. And IT itself can be challenging, it can be frustrating, because I mean I had to go through the same stuff where you do got these step-by-step process, but sometimes either the virtual lab environment itself is giving you issues or you just having typo errors, you know, and you just got to give them grace for that. So being able to assist and help, especially like not even just students, because you know students can be, we think about younger kids, I mean like the older people
for sure
that's coming into the field and they trying to get tech savvy. It's always nice to have them come in as like illiterate in computer stuff, and then by the end of the semester they already know what they're doing. So that's always a good feeling. It's like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. You get what I'm saying? So you teach them life skills to go with them.
Yeah, bro, because I remember meeting you, I kind of abruptly took over the lab tutor position, and then we kind of started to build a relationship and stuff like that. I know when I did meet you, you had like this, I thought you had a PSP at first, but you had like this computer game system, and it had like the knobs on the side and things like that. And you told me you was like real into Linux. Like, what kind of got you into Linux?
I didn't know Linux existed until I started the cybersecurity program. Like, don't get me wrong, I knew about Apple. You know, Apple, it's not Linux, but it's like the cousin of Linux, and so it's similar. But I didn't know Linux was a thing until I started, you know, the classes. And so, you know, they ask you, do you want to do Linux, AWS,
specializations?
Yeah, or Cisco or whatever. I was like, I'm gonna do Linux because I don't know about it. So I did that, and honestly, I'm pretty glad I did it, because if you're doing cybersecurity or anything really tech related in like a enterprise or a business corporation, you're gonna have to joke around with some Linux experience, you know. So like what you were telling me about the device you were calling a PSP was definitely a Steam Deck, and that is a Linux device. But I dual booted mine to have Linux and Windows on it. And like I was telling you earlier, ever since I started working with the company I work with now, I haven't really been using much of Linux, because don't get me wrong, we have Linux VMs, but I'm not. It's above my pay grade to work with them right now. For sure. So we still have the Linux VMs, and I still do little Linux work, but I've been mostly working on like I've been mainly using Windows PowerShell and then command prompt and SQL. SQL has really been something I've been learning for like the past 12 months for sure.
How long did it take you to get comfortable using those commands? Because I'm not gonna lie, like I'm sure you had a lot of students that came to you specifically on them labs where they had to enter those commands. So that's one of the hardest things.
Yeah, for me personally, I don't know. I pick up on things pretty fast. So it probably, by like the second week, I was probably already accustomed to it. But my main issue with the commands is you got so many different languages, and it kind of like correlates. Like you got PowerShell for Windows and you got Bash for Linux. So I was used to using Bash, because that's what I learned. That's my first coding language that I learned. So we're doing that, and then in the lab they teaching you how to do PowerShell as well. And some of the commands are similar, but they're not the same. So like for instance, if you're trying to use IP config, and Linux is IP config, and then in Windows is IF config, something like that. I might have a confused, but that's basically how you get the wireless information for your machine that you're working for, or whatever network that you're on. And so just knowing the difference between those two is something important too. But just doing it, like you just gotta play around with it to really get that exercise feeling with it.
Yeah, like I tell my students, like you gotta get that hands-on experience. That's the only way you're gonna learn, because we know cybersecurity is like turn-based stuff.
Exactly. Like, you're not gonna learn how to do anything until you really dabble into it. Like I'm still having issues with cross-training at the job now. Like I just, I do a lot at the job. Like I can't even like explain it. Like we do so much stuff. It's like a broad umbrella. Like we don't. It's not even just cybersecurity. Like he hired me for cybersecurity stuff. Don't get me wrong, but it's like I do a whole lot more than just cybersecurity.
Man, speaking of your job, bro, like I remember it was like a few months span. Like I'll come in here and you'd be like really frustrated, like, bro,
Yeah.
these jobs is not hitting me back, or I got an interview and it's just not going. And like, what was your mental like during that time before you got hired at this new job?
Honestly, it was kind of depressing. It was like, you'll do, like for instance, I interviewed at Google 3 times.
I remember that.
I interviewed at Google 3 times, and every time I interview, I made it to the final round. You know, like, cause you gotta interview. This is a 3-hour interview process with 3 different interviews. You know, you got technical, you got like the HR questions, then you got some Google questions. They just Google know. You feel me? And so you do that process 3 times. It's 3 hours long. Then after you do that 3-hour interview process, your profile with your interview questions and whatever they score, they mark you with, that has to go around a board of another directors or what, I don't know. We gotta go across another board in Google, and they gotta approve you for the next step. Then you get to the next step, and you gotta your profile has to be selected by a team leader. And if that team leader want to interview you, and then y'all interview and he want to pick you, he pick you. So I made it through each and every step. I had to interview with the team leader, and ironically, the team leader that interviewed me was from Marietta, Georgia.
Okay.
And that's one thing where I guess drew my profile to him. But I was interviewing with him, and he was asking me questions that was already prevalent in my resume. And it was like, I don't know if he was testing me or he was just not taking me serious, but it was like the question he was asking me, because like I answered the question, and then the answer I gave him, he's like, I didn't talk at all. Like, he's like, are you used to working long hours? I was working at Amazon at the time, working 11 hours, 4 days a week. So yes, I am used to working long hours, you get me? And then also being a student at the time. So it was like stuff like that. And then the interviewer for the recruiter to call me back after that one interview to be like, oh, they weren't confident in your answers. Even though I'm literally agreeing to everything they were saying or asking me.
Crazy.
So it just challenges like that to like you going through multiple rounds or interviewing to get to the last round to not get picked or selected. And that's a 3-time process. Like I said, I did that 3 times for interview, and that's just one place. I had a data center I applied to called Max Stadium right here in Atlanta. And it's like the same thing, kind of. They asked me, are you used to work on virtual machines? Yes, because we had to work virtual machines in a stimulated environment for the labs, you know? And we had to make our own, what do I think called? A virtual box machine for my Linux class. That's how we learned how to make Linux VMs, stuff like that. So yes, I do have some experience. I don't have enterprise experience, but I do have experience with virtual machines. I told them this, tell them that, and then you get the same thing. Oh, we want to pick you, but we got somebody else. Blah blah blah. I interviewed at the Atlanta Zoo for the IT support position. Same thing. Interviewed at Toyo Tires. He felt like I was overqualified for the position. I'm just like, I never even had a real enterprise IT position, so how can I be overqualified for it?
And you was almost close to that zoo position, correct?
Yeah, like I was close to every position because I always will make it to the last round of the interview. It's never like I got turned around before that and it just never got selected. And then so, like I was telling you, so after Max Stadium, literally after Max Stadium, I interviewed at Encore Software. And I didn't even think that interview went well. Because like initially it was like, bring your project that you've been working on. So I wanted to show my Raspberry Pi connected to my my regular Windows computer using SSH. And showing the little bash scripts and all the automated tasks that we made. And I couldn't do that, bro. I literally typed it in, tried to connect to my my Raspberry Pi, and the connection kept failing. So that didn't work. So I showed him what we do for tutoring, like how I tutor the kids and with the students, and that helped.
Okay.
Job. So.
And that's your current position.
That's my current. Not my current position, but that's my current
company.
Company, yeah, for sure.
So you're saying, basically showing him like the lab steps and screenshots of what you do.
The screenshots was the number one takeaway, because he was like, "This is how we document it on our tickets,"
Bro, that's huge, because like I'm in a space where I'm now preaching, telling students to save their labs into a portfolio.
Exactly, they need to.
And I'm like, hey, you're already working with the skills and technologies,
and
you have experience. You can showcase that to an employer.
That's all you gotta do. And if you do it, if you do it correctly, that's all you need for every job. Now you don't even gotta modify anymore. You just gotta keep that. You can have to update it. Don't get me wrong, but that's literally your template to get a job. So if you could literally take all your labs and any technical project. Because I know when I was a student, Professor Chapman had us do what we had to do. We had to do some keystroke activity with DOS attacks. And then we also had to do air crack and Wi-Fi to hack our own Wi-Fi system at home with a brute force and dictionary attack. So you can use all these challenges and exercises that you're doing as literal proof that you know what you're doing in the field as programs or background that you did. Like we had to get Raspberry Pis to make an ad blocker. That's a sinkhole. That's another thing you can do. I mean, I took it further and I made a sinkhole and a VPN. I put the VPN on my phone so I can have that mobile ad blocker no matter where I went. So that's just the little things you can do that show them that you know you're really interested in doing things. Because they're going to test your skill. Like you're not going to interview, they're not going to test you technically. It's going to be either some questions, show me how to do this, show me what this command do. If I wanted to fix this, how would I do that? You know, it's going to be something. And so you just got to have that for you. And don't be nervous per se, just calmly work out the solutions.
So do you think if you wouldn't have showed them labs that you did, would you think they still hired you?
Honestly, I feel like if I would have went the way I wanted to go through, I may have still got hired, but I probably wouldn't have got selected as fast. Okay. Like he literally called me back the next day.
By having that proof of what you did.
Like as soon as I showed him that, it was like the green light. You know, and ideally that wasn't even my initial idea. Like I said, I wanted to do the Raspberry Pi SSH, but I couldn't. And I showed him, like you said, the lab that we be doing in class, and that literally caught his attention.
So again, you talked earlier about like how you just had a bad mental state, just depressed about all these jobs. When you got that offer letter, how was you feeling?
That was like a whole, honestly, like working with the company, I felt I had the imposter syndrome for like the first almost month, I want to say. Like his first day I started, I'm already introduced into the company. I'm in the cloud support team meetings and stuff like that. And they're talking about stuff you don't even know nothing about. You're just your first day at the company. They're talking about major IT problems. It's a software company too, so we got a dev team that makes the software, and then we the cloud support team. So whenever there's issues, we gotta fix that. And mind you, this is my first time in the IT environment, in the enterprise environment. So it is getting used to and getting comfortable with the team. But the team that I work with and the company I work with is so helpful, and they supportive. So like whatever question you need answer, what they always there to support you.
And so, okay, your job you got hired on for was an internship. How did that kind of progress into a full-time?
Well, honestly, to be transparent, when I was doing the interview and he called me back the next day, offered me the position, he was already saying that he wanted me for the full-time position, but the internship would be more like a trial run to see if it's something that I wanted to do.
Okay.
And so, I mean, I was already interested. I need a job. So I was like, yeah, I need this. So, but the internship itself is straight. I mean, it didn't really, me doing the internship and me signing the contract for the salary permanent position, it wasn't really no difference. I still got the same responsibilities. The only thing that changed was the job title and the pay increase. But overall, I mean, I'd still do it all over again. But I mean, I think it's ironic because I applied on Handshake. Use your Handshake, students.
Yeah.
And I applied for the permanent position. They had an internship position. I didn't see that, but I applied for the permanent position, and then they interviewed me for the internship position. And so that's how I got on.
So how you feel now that you're in like a corporate IT role? Like what's your thoughts on it? On the field?
I don't know, because like for me, my first year in it, it's been smooth sailing. You know, like I've been doing projects. I've been, like I telling you earlier, I've been working with Azure and Intune. So I've been like, I'm kind of like, I'm not a pro, but like I'm well versed with them two platforms right now. And so after getting over that inertial and imposter syndrome and like getting over my initial hurdle, breaking out my shell and really getting comfortable in the field, I just been absorbing all the information I can. You know, like I done did some things I didn't think I could do.
Oh, word, okay.
You know, like you don't know what you can do until you apply yourself to do it. If you're doing IT, depending on what kind of company you work for, you're not gonna really specialize because it's all gonna be cross-trained. You know, it's all gonna intersect at one point. So you can't really concentrate on anything.
So you gotta be well versed in it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to be well versed in a couple of things. Not saying that you need to be, but you will be once you start doing it. Like you don't have to be before you start doing it, but if you get hired on, you're gonna learn a lot more things than what they hire you for.
So okay, can I consider you like a cloud analyst or something?
Yeah, that's literally what I do. I'm a cloud support analyst, but I also do compliance, which means compliance against the auditor word. You know, like make sure our job got a certification to have this, to do this, to say we can do that, to say we can do that. Like for instance, for government people, like government jobs, government tech stuff, you gotta have CMMC. So we gotta do that coming up. So we gotta make sure we got all our stuff so we can pass the CMMC cert and we can get government government clientele. I do cloud and endpoint, so I do both physical and virtual computers. But I'm not like, I'm still a rookie. You know, we have other people who hire up, and so I'm still learning from them when they come to how to do certain things and stuff like that as well.
And I know you were telling me about some certifications you're trying to get. Like, what's your goals for the remaining of the year? Or
I got 2 certifications. So ISC, or is ISC squared?
Yeah, ISC squared.
Yep, ISC squared. Trying to get the certified cybersecurity, and then the
SSCP.
Yeah, SSCP.
Systems practice.
Yep, that one. Or it's another one I can't remember the name of, but it's more. The other one is more towards like targeting audit, stuff like that. So it's like you certify for like audit stuff.
Oh,
I don't know if I want to do that or not, because I really don't want to do audit stuff forever.
They have a CISA.
I don't know. That might be it.
Certified Information Systems Auditor.
Yeah, that might be the one, or it might be the one under. I don't know. It's one of them. He's like, I want you to pick between these 2 and get one before the end of the year.
So you like the auditing side of things?
No, I hate it. But
you gotta get it for your job, though.
No, I don't have to. I told him I want to do the other one, the S.
Oh, SSCP.
Yeah, I want to do that one instead of the other one. But I might change my mind later. But I don't want to do. I don't like talking to people. And these auditors meetings, we really book 20 hours throughout a week. So it's like 5 hours of meetings a day for the like Monday through Friday. And I don't want to do that. Like, I don't even like talking to people. That's why I got an IT. I don't want to talk to people. So yeah. But you do what you gotta do. So I'm not really against it. And sometimes it's good to come out your shell and break out your comfort zone. But long-term goal, I'm not trying to be no auditor, compliance engineer person.
I feel that. Bro, I really appreciate you blessing the platform, man. Anything you want to leave the audience with?
Be confident in yourself, exercise your abilities, and keep applying yourself, because it's going to get challenging out here.
For sure. Bro, I appreciate you, man. Marcus Wallace.